Alright everyone, welcome back. So, today we have our January 2024 rookie check-ins. So, I've been doing this every single month so far in the NHL season, and here is month number 4, and it's January. So, let's get straight into it here. Not a whole lot of changes. More or less the same rookies, besides only one new rookie has risen up into the top 10 for skaters. There is a goalie that did rise up to the top 5, but actually isn't a new guy. We talked about him earlier on in the check-ins. So anyways, we're going to get straight into it here. We're going to start off with Connor Bedard. Of course, Bedard is obviously the leading guy for the Calder Trophy. However, he got injured this past month since our last rookie check-in. So definitely his Calder odds may have decreased a little bit more when you just look at it overall. Definitely being out 6 to 8 weeks, which right now it's probably about 6 weeks now, or at least 7 or 6. Somewhere in that range is when we're going to expect him to return. He has been practicing with a full fishbowl, which is like the full helmet, with the cage. I don't expect him to return though. I don't believe he is returning anytime soon. But regardless, Bedard, this check-in, I have the last check-in numbers on screen right here if you guys want to see them. But I'm only going to mention this year's check-ins. This year, 39 games played, 15 goals, 18 assists, 33 points since the last time we had our check-in. So obviously, the points have increased a little bit if he obviously did play. All the way up till now, obviously the stats would be increased. But of course, since he got injured, he has not played, which is really no surprise there. Number 2 is Brock Faber, and Brock Faber is the new player on this list. Faber was not, he was not in our December check-in. He has had a very good month for himself. In 46 games played, he had 3 goals, 24 assists for 27 points, has risen all the way up to 2. Yeah, he has played very well. Ironically, it's 2 Minnesota Wild players tied for second place in the overall rookie rankings right now. But yeah, Brock Faber making a very good case for the Calder Trophy. I think if Bedard stays injured and Faber keeps playing the way he is, I think he has a very good chance at winning the Calder Trophy for sure. I think that for him, he's done very well in that Minnesota blue line, has played very solid, and I think that if it keeps going the way it's going, I think Faber could for sure make a very good case to win the trophy. Number 3 is Marco Rossi, the other Minnesota Wild player that is on this list. Rossi, 46 games played, 13 goals, 14 assists for 27 points. Rossi dropping down 1 spot, but doesn't regard anything whatsoever. I think Rossi's played very solid on Minnesota. Good to see him and Faber playing very well too. Younger guys in Minnesota. Obviously, there's other guys that are still yet to come up for the Minnesota Wild into their lineup. So I am for sure looking forward to seeing all those guys come up, like Yurov, Stramel. You got some really solid young guys coming up for Minnesota, and Marco Rossi and Faber are kind of leading the way right now. They're playing very solid, and I think that they're slowly, I said it like 3 times. They are slowly, there it goes again, building a team together around Kaprizov, and I think once the Parise and contracts and them expire, I think this team's going to be very good. And I'm all for it. Number 4 is Adam Fantilli of the Columbus Blue Jackets. We also have 2 Columbus Blue Jackets players on this list, which is why I am wearing a Blue Jackets jersey. Fantilli, 45 games played, 11 goals, 14 assists, 25 points. Obviously, the Blue Jackets haven't been very good, but Fantilli showing some very promising signs from night to night. I watched some of the Columbus games. I think he's played very well in most of them. I know there's a lot of controversy there around Pascal Vincent, him scratching David Juracek for an 8th straight game. I have seen that. I made a TikTok video on that. I do think that Vincent should be fired, but Fantilli still playing very solid in the ice time that he is getting overall and very deserving of it for sure. Number 5, Luke Hughes. Luke Hughes of the New Jersey Devils. We talked about him yesterday. Hughes has 45 games played this season, 8 goals, 17 assists for 25 points as well. Luke Hughes rising up 2 spots from last check-in. I think Hughes has played very solid for the Devils. Definitely on the injuries they've had on that blue line, Hughes has really established himself as a very suitable, very solid offensive defenseman, and I think it's going to keep going from here. I don't know about a Calder Trophy or a Calder consideration. I definitely think there will be some votes, but I don't think there will be a lot of votes because I think there's other guys that are better than him right now. But yeah, Luke Hughes, if he has a really good month of February, I think for sure he really could find himself maybe in the Calder conversations for sure. Number 6 is Connor Zary. Zary has cooled down since our last rookie talk. Zary, 36 games played, 9 goals, 13 assists for 22 points. There's no denying it. Zary has cooled down. There was a point where he was like a point per game as a rookie. And yes, it's not saying that he's like not going to be a good player in the future. He's still going to be really solid, but he's cooled down. Obviously, and this is what happens sometimes. A player will come in, play really well, and then eventually he'll fall back down to earth, and Zary has. Since our last check-in, I believe he has 6 points. So, definitely, he has not seen the production that he's seen earlier in the season, which is okay. I mean, as a rookie, you want to keep him up in the system, let him develop. And as I mentioned in Calgary, they're going to have a lot of guys that may be leaving soon. So it's good to see that they're establishing something there with the Flames overall. Number 7 is Dmitry Voronkov. Another pleasant surprise, as we've mentioned in other videos. I'm wearing my Columbus jersey, as I said. 2 Columbus rookies in this check-in. Voronkov, 39 games played. 9 goals, 13 assists for 22 points, has dropped down 2 spots since our last check-in. Again, as I said in the previous check-in, Voronkov, a pleasant surprise. You know, Columbus, again, not a very good team, still playing very well. He's had himself an okay month. I think that there's a lot of potential there in Voronkov, a guy who's really solid. And I think that you're uniting a team of Fantilli, Johnson, Marchenko, Voronkov, Juracek. You have a really solid young core that you're building here. And also Denton Mateychuk, too, is coming up. So I think that maybe this year could be the last year of them being really bad necessarily, and we're going to start seeing some positive improvement in the next couple of years. And I think that as we make these videos, as we cover this, we're watching this team build up. So definitely Voronkov, another pleasant surprise in Columbus's rebuild. Hopefully that continues. Number 8, Arizona's Logan Cooley. Cooley with a very nice pass yesterday. That I will say this. For the Coyotes, even though whether or not they make the playoffs, that team is nasty this year. I don't know what it is. Cooley, 45 games played, 4 goals, 18 assists, 22 points. Cooley looking more like a passer. He's not scoring as much this year. Obviously, the scoring will come. But so far this season, he's looking much more like a passer. And I'm not mad about that whatsoever. I think that Cooley's still a very solid player overall. And definitely the improvement will be there. It just needs to take some time. Some different players take different paths into having success in the NHL. And Cooley is one of them. Number 9 is Nashville's Luke Evangelista. Evangelista rising up 1 spot from last month. Evangelista, 46 games played, 9 goals, 12 assists for 21 points. Evangelista playing very solid. Again, another pleasant surprise there for the Nashville Predators. Showed some positive signs last season, is showing them this year. And again, he had a pretty decent month. Obviously, we're down to the rookies that really haven't gotten too many points in the last month. And example of that is number 10 is Pavel Mintyukov. Mintyukov, 40 games played, 2 goals, 17 assists, 19 points. I believe those might even be the same numbers from last month. I think he was injured. So that's probably a factor of why Mintyukov has not increased in points. But yeah, regardless, Mintyukov still a very solid defenseman, just has dealt with some injuries over the past couple of weeks. Obviously, with Brock Faber moving up into the top 10, there's a player that moves out of the top 10. That's Leo Carlsson. He moved from 8 to 11. Obviously, when you look at like just overall numbers and like Carlson being injured, of course, he's going to move down in the list, and it's shown. Carlson's still a very good rookie, just got injured, and that's why he's no longer on the list. Again, not a whole lot of movement for this rookie rankings here. Your goaltending, there has been a major improvement in Samuel Ersson. I'm going to say that right now as a Philadelphia Flyers fan. I am very satisfied with what I've seen with Urson this season. Urson, 12-6-3 this season with a 2.36 goals against average and a .909 save percentage. He has got to get Calder consideration. He has to get Calder consideration. I would be shocked if he didn't. Genuinely. I feel like he's played super well, and I know there's still 2 more months before the season officially ends, but Urson has looked really solid this season and has carried the Flyers in some games and 100% deserves some recognition in the way he's been playing so far. So yeah, I'm really liking the way that Urson's been playing, and I think that he deserves at least some consideration. Not saying he wins it, at least some consideration. Number 2, Pyotr Kochetkov of the Carolina Hurricanes had himself a pretty good month. Kochetkov went 11-7-3 with a 2.58 goals against average and a .900 save percentage. I thought that Kochetkov played very well, has been playing good for the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are starting to heat up. There's no doubt about it when you look at the overall stats for Carolina. They're really starting to turn up the clock, and I think that it's showing. So yeah, I really like the way Kochetkov's playing and definitely making some good strides as an NHL goaltender. I think right now, even though there's a weird triangle in Carolina, I think he's realistically the starting goalie. Just being realistic right now. Third in scoring is Joseph Woll of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He went 8-5-1 with a 2.80 goals against average and a .916 save percentage. Those are the same numbers from last month. He got injured, so we're not going to spend too much time on Woll. Obviously, hope he recovers from injury and hope all things go well. But apart from that, definitely Woll, just the same stats. Next up then, Joel Hofer moves back into the top 5. He moved out of the top 5 last month. He's back in the top 5 now. He went 7-8 with a 2.88 goals against average and a .9110 save percentage. Hofer, even though, his record's a little bit negative, the positive numbers are still there. I think Hofer has a lot of potential to be a really solid, effective NHL goalie in the future. Just as of right now, St. Louis isn't very good, and obviously it's his rookie season. So it's kind of difficult it's kind of difficult to know what you're going to expect from him when the team's not very good, but obviously we'll find out in the coming years. But hopefully Hofer does well. And then finally, Devin Levi. He is our 5th goalie with an 8-7-2 record, a 2.32 goals against average, and a .889 save percentage. Obviously, Buffalo's not playing very well. So, of course, you want to just, give Levi some time to develop, which is why they sent him down to Rochester, which is why we haven't seen him in the NHL that much lately. So, yeah, obviously, with that situation, of course, Levi is going to, play well down there in Rochester. Just up here in the NHL, there's been plenty of struggles with the Sabres, and it just isn't fun right now in Buffalo. So, for sure, you want to figure out something there for Levi, but just let him get some development time in the AHL, and then we'll see what happens from there. And then, obviously, the goalie that had to move out for Hofer to go back in was Lucas Dostal. Dostal went from 5 to 6 in the goalie rankings, so not that big of a movement. I will say this about Dostal. He's played very well against some certain teams, like against the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Rangers recently. Some games that I've watched, he's played very well, extremely well, in fact. And I think he's deserving of some credit for the way he's played with that. But yeah, that is your January rookie check-in. Connor Bedard being out with a jaw injury may change things next month when we do our next rookie check-in. Depending on how some of these guys do, we could see a new rookie in scoring. It's been Bedard for every single check-in, but we could see a new rookie in scoring next month. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. Hit that subscribe button down below. We greatly appreciate it. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.